Oh, hello. Sorry I'm a little bit late, but I am here. Oh, two people watching currently. Sorry for the delay. I am here. Hello, everybody. How are we doing? How's it going? Let me. As you can see by the banner there, it is a live Q&A. Of course, feel free to send me your questions. Yes. Yeah. Hey, sir, how we doing? Sir, Arrow Fire, how you doing, my friend? How you doing? Hello to you. Hope you're well. First person off the bat. First question. Right, sir. I do have some questions that have already been given, but I'm gonna kind of like make sure people come in first. So yeah, but there are some questions I'm gonna kind of answer that were the video that I did announcing this live stream, and thanking people for 700 subscribers, by the way. So thank you very much. I'm now at 700 subscribers. Thank you so much indeed to everyone that's supported me over the years. And but yeah, so that's why we are here today. That's why I'm here today, is to celebrate 700 subscribers. So yeah, I got a couple people asking me questions on the video that my announcement video talking about this. So I will be answering those as well. So I'm not going to ignore anything. But the point of me going live, okay, the point of me going live is also to give people an opportunity to ask me questions live that probably didn't have a chance to ask me back when I first announced it, or probably didn't even know. Because the problem is with me, the algorithm has been my enemy on YouTube for quite a while, and some people just do not see my videos or anything that I post. So yeah, but anyway. So the first question from Arafire is, what are you looking most forward to at TF Nation? Well, first and foremost is well, it's the people. It's the people. First and foremost, it is always the people. I know that sounds like I'm brushing your question under the rug a little bit, but that is the truth. TF Nation is quite a special event for me, for many reasons. Not just TF Nation, but ever since I've been going to conventions. I mean, I've been going to conventions since like 2010, which was originally Auto Assembly, and then eventually when Auto Assembly stopped and then TF Nation took over, I've been steadily going every single year since 2010 to the physical events. Because obviously there was a couple of years where, unfortunately, it was streamed live. So unfortunately there was no, unfortunately there was no. Back in the lockdown period, there was obviously nothing. But no, what I'm most looking forward to for TF Nation this year is, of course, meeting up with great people, meeting up with some great friends that I've had the privilege of meeting over the years, possibly meeting new people as well. Of course, it goes without saying, Scott McNeil. I'm very much looking forward to meeting Scott McNeil, because I'm going to be very careful about how I'm not going to bring up I'm not going to bring up Auto Assembly 2010 in the presence of Scott McNeil. I'm not going to say why. I'm going to be very, very blunt with that, because end of the day, I don't want any possible drama or anything like that. But yeah, basically, obviously, Auto Assembly 2010. Auto Assembly 2010 was my very first convention, and of course, it was Gary Chalk and Scott McNeil that appeared as guests of honour that year. and it was a very, very good convention. But some things behind the scenes were a bit iffy. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm just going to say I'm not going to bring up 2010 in front of Scott McNeil for that reason, because it is an absolute miracle. It really is an absolute miracle that the TF Nation crew have managed to get Scott for TFN this year. And I'm very much looking forward to meeting him. And like 2010 never happened, kind of thing. But also, I'm very much looking forward to meeting all the voice actors, including Sophia Myles as well, who was in Age of Extinction. And that's really cool that they've managed to get. It is really, really cool that they managed to get one of the live actress or whatever that was in one of the live action films. It's really, really cool. So I'm very much looking forward to meeting her. All being well. Neil Kaplan as well. Very much looking forward to meeting him. Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic event. Very much looking forward to it indeed. Pete Willis, hello from Transformers the Show. Congrats on the milestone, mate. Thank you very much indeed. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I've been making videos now for what must be at least a good 15 years. A good chunk of my life has been in the cyberverse, as it were. No pun on the Transformers cyberverse series there at all, but but yeah, I've been on YouTube for a long time, and it's taken this amount of time for me to reach 700. It kind of makes me wonder just how if my original channel that I created was still about. I often think to myself, what would happen? Where would I be subscriber-wise? Would I have possibly been a little bit more, or would I be about the same as I am now? I don't know. I often think that sometimes. But thank you so much to everyone that subscribed. I really appreciate it. Sam Boy, hit 1,000 subs and you will never have to work again. Yeah. I wish, Sam. I wish. I really do wish. It's more like possibly hitting 1 million subscribers more than anything. Yeah, once you're in the 6-figure sort of subscriber milestones, then you start kind of earning a bit of revenue on YouTube. Of course, I know there's other means to be able to earn money through the internet, but I don't feel comfortable to ask people for money. That's just my personal thing at this moment in time. If things changed, if somehow my channel gets if my channel somehow takes off out the blue, it does happen sometimes. It can be like the algorithm will just randomly all of a sudden just start sending your videos out to everybody that might be interested, and you start getting more views, and it can happen, but it is quite rare. But if that was to happen, if my channel was to somehow explode out the blue, just like, what the hell happened there? If that was to happen, I would possibly consider means of possibly earning money through YouTube. But until that time, which is likely never going to happen, I'm very happy to just as I am. I work, I have a job, and as you do, go to work and do what I need to do and earn monies as you do to pay bills, and I'm happy to do that for now. Even though I would like to be able to, it would be pretty cool to have some kind of, it would be pretty cool to kind of earn money through YouTube to a certain degree, but at the same time, it's not something I'm actively looking for. Raymond, congratulations on eating 700 Subway footlongs. Jesus Christ, that's a feat even for me. I can deal with 1 foot long, but that sounded even worse. Coming out there, I am going to be very careful what I say now. Well, yeah. But anyways, yeah. As you can see, live Q&A. If anybody would like to ask me a question, feel free to. Yeah, feel free. Feel free to ask me a question. Yes, feel free to ask me any questions if you wish to. I mean, like I say, I'm probably going to be on for. I'm going to see how things go. I'm going to see how things go. It's one of them things is that I'm doing it as a live stream because it gives people an opportunity to ask me a question live and I can answer it live, you know. But like I say, I do have a couple questions that I was given on my announcement video, which I will do soon. But I'm probably going to be on for about an hour or so tonight, maybe about depending of how many people come in. Depending of how many people actually join me this evening, who actually come and watch me, and join in. Depending of how things go, I'm gonna kind of aim for about an hour tonight for this. But if it comes to it, I will. If it comes to it, then I'll probably go a bit longer, probably an hour and a half or something like that. This is just, yeah, it's just a bit of fun more than anything. Raymond says, Cyberworld or Wild King? I haven't seen Wild King yet. I think you mentioned that last time I did a live stream, I think. I haven't watched Wild King. I believe, is it Japanese series that's going on at the moment? Is it? But yeah, I haven't seen Wild King. I've watched the first episode. I've seen the first episode of Cyberworld. So at the moment, I mean, like I say, it's not for me, Cyberworld. It's not for me. It's not something I'm actively that bothered about. However, I have watched the first episode of Cyberworld, and it seems innocent enough. The voice acting seems quite good. Interesting choices for Optimus and Megatron, or whatever you want to call him, and all the other characters, Grimlock and that, and Bumblebee. Yeah, the voice performances seemed relatively quite good, considering it's only a quick, like 10-15 minute episode web series. Yeah, but it seemed good enough. It seemed all right, I don't think I'm going to be buying into the toy line or anything like that, to be honest. But it is. I might check them out. I might keep up with it and check out the more episodes as to come out and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I would. Like I said, I've only seen Cyberworld, so I'd have to go with Cyberworld over Wild King at the moment because I haven't seen Wild King yet. Sam, your opinion on how Transformers as a franchise has changed over the years? Ooh, wow, that's a good question, Sam. Thank you. Well, I mean, like I say, I don't claim to know much about Transformers. I mean, I know a bit. I know a little bit, but I don't know everything. But things have changed quite a lot. I mean, I've been actively in the Transformers sphere, if you want to call it something like that. I've been in the Transformers collecting thing since about 08, I think, or 7, 08, I think is when I first started collecting again, buying Transformers, buying into it. Yeah, I think it was, yeah. So I was working at Asda at the time, so that's going back a fair bit. So I was working at Asda back when I started collecting Transformers. So again, so yeah, it would have been about 07, 08 maybe. So I think it was yeah. I started collecting just before the announcement of the live action Transformers film. So it would have been about 07, but it would have been just before the announcement of a live action Transformers film was coming out. Because I remember seeing the magazines with Optimus Prime on the covers when they were talking about like the production of the live action Transformers film and the cast and stuff. And and it was about that time when Transformers Animated was airing on Cartoon Network at the time as well. It would have probably been in its second series. Season 2 would probably been airing at the time. I don't know. But yeah, so like I said, I've only been in the game Transformers thing since about 2007. I'm gonna just say that I can't quite remember. Started making videos around about 07, 08. Back when I started, things seemed quite simple. It seemed relatively quite cheap to be able to pick up certain things. There was some really good deals on eBay and stuff like that back in those days. Finding something online was relatively quite straightforward because obviously you only had eBay as an option for before independent actual online toy stores started taking over. But prices of there wasn't as many scalpers about on the old G1 stuff. I managed to pick up some G1 stuff relatively quite cheap. The first figures I picked up when I started Transformers collecting was a little Legends class figure of animated Prowl from Transformers Animated. That was the first figure I ever bought when I first started collecting. And then the second purchase was an eBay purchase, and it was the original Optimus Primal and Megatron from Beast Wars, the original 1995 toys. And I still have both of them. I still have them to this day. They're the only two toys. I think they're the only figures that are original. Oh no, actually, I think my Optimal Optimus is original. Yeah, I think my Optimal Optimus is a childhood toy from back when I was 6 or 7 years old. Yeah, so it was really really cool to I managed to pick them up. I managed to pick the original Optimus Primal and Megatron from Beast Wars up for how much was it? I think I paid about 20 quid. Literally, I think I paid about 20 quid plus postage, about 25 quid, something like that, for 2 figures that were complete. They had all their accessories, missiles, everything. They were just out of box. They were loose. And yeah, but obviously back when I started, things seemed a little bit less complicated because the toy line at the time, the main toy lines at the time was Transformers Animated was currently airing, so that was dominating a lot of the toy purchases and reviews on YouTube and stuff. And there was also the Generations Universe line or Chug. Classics, Henke, Universe, Generations. That's what Chug stands for. It was those lines that were really taking over. Like you had the Henke line from Japan, and then you had the Universe line, Generations, which was America. And I was buying into those lines as well as things were going forward, and I was things seemed really, really cool. And then things started to change slightly because there was this whole hubbub thing about plastic. They were changing they were changing the plastic on the toys. They used to kind of use a certain type of plastic when it came to the molds of the toys. And they decided to go away with I remember this, that it was like making news on people. People were talking about it online, and Hasbro decided to change the plastic quality, and a lot of the toys that came out, people weren't very happy with the plastic quality. A lot of the toys that were coming out, they were charging a certain amount for the toy, but yet the plastic was really cheap, and there was a lot of like figures that were breaking out of boxes. A lot of QC problems at the time because of this new plastic quality, the different plastic they changed to. That was a thing for a period. Um, but coming back to now, Transformers as a franchise, things are like, obviously I've got to mention about Michael Bay, the live action films. That is part of my opinion as well. Is up until Transformers Animated came out, there was a long time with nothing, with hardly anything when it came to media. The only things that vividly was Transformers related that was still being released. Basically, you had the Unicron trilogy, which was obviously Transformers Armada, Cybertron, and Energon. When that finished, that was it for quite a number of years. I think it was something like 3 or 4 years with literally nothing cartoon-wise for Transformers. And then when Transformers Animated got announced back in, I think, 05, 06, that kind of brought back a lot of interest. It kind of like got a lot of people back into collecting. It got a lot of people excited. And even though Transformers Animated, when it first started, the fan base was a little bit polarized by it. It was like a 50-50. Some liked it because of the character designs. The character designs were a little bit strange, like, very, very cartoony, like. But it kind of it was one of those things. It became a bit of a hit, and it did eventually do quite well. And it lasted for 3 seasons, I think. Yeah, 3 seasons, and then obviously the live action the first film back in 2007 came out for Transformers, Michael Bay, 2007, and that arguably injected a lot of energy into the brand, into the franchise. If whether you like Michael Bay, whether you are a fan of Michael Bay's live action Transformers films, whether you're a fan of his Transformers films or not, you cannot deny the impact. You cannot deny the impact those films have had on the franchise, on the industry, on Transformers, the brand, and everything. Whether they were executed well enough or not, you can't deny the fact that they brought in mega money for both Hasbro and Paramount. And they also helped with investment with China. They helped with, like, because obviously there's this real weird thing with like Chinese investment and American investment when it comes to the movie business. Through the live action, the earlier Transformers films like 07, Dark of the Moon, Revenge of the Fallen, and all that, the first like 3 or 4, things were really quite looking up for the brand. And obviously through the Michael Bay films, we got Transformers Prime. Transformers Prime was 2010, I believe, 2010 when that first aired, and that did really, really well. And again, went for three seasons plus a film. And things were looking up, and it's just been kind of like there has been media coming out ever since. Of course, we've got Michael Bay left eventually, and then we've got Rise of the Beast and Bumblebee and that, which I think, to kind of bring you this conversation, I've been answering this question way too goddamn long, but I'm just trying to kind of like, I'm doing it purposely because I want to try and kind of like I want to see how things go with like viewership and that. But anyway, yeah. So you can't deny the impact of, you can't deny the impact of Michael Bay's films. You just can't deny that. Whether they were executed good enough or what, but you know, wherever your mindset is on them, but they did inject a lot of interest from fans as well as people that did that. You know, it gained the live action Michael Bay films injected a lot of interest into the brand through fans. You know, it got a lot of discussion going on within the fan base. A lot of online forums and Facebook groups and stuff started to be made. It kind of got a discussion going on within the fan base. It kind of like injected life back into it again on a discussion front. And then people making videos, and then the toys started coming out for the Michael Bay films, the live action stuff, and it's, you know, it really kind of like rejuvenated the brand. It really did. You can't really deny that. And before, like I said, you know, but when like there was like a good 3 or 4 years with no cartoons between the end of the Unicron trilogy and Transformers Animated coming out. The only stuff Transformers-wise, I believe, that was coming out was comic books. I believe, was it Dreamwave at the time? I can't remember. But it was only comic books that was the only kind of media that was still being released back in that period. But yeah, but the Michael Bay films certainly kind of injected a lot of, you know, life. It was a dying brand before Michael Bay took over it. You know, I don't think Transformers would be near on as popular as they are now. Without that injection from Michael Bay with the live action films. I think because it was steadily decreasing. Yes, you had there was the whole nostalgia thing. There was fans talking about the G1 toys and the Chug line and some of the live action toys coming out and the animated line. You know, there were people talking about past lines, Beast Wars, and there was still like a nostalgia sort of feeling about the brand. There were still people talking about it. There's still people making videos on YouTube at the time. But it was much more of a niche thing. Back when I started doing videos on YouTube, it was much more of a niche thing than it is now. It is much more widely known. Even Hasbro understands there is a big growing fan base that make videos and talk about toys. Even Hasbro have taken notice of the fan base. Hence why they're brought out, arguably, because people don't really like HasLab. That's another discussion and possibly another question. But a lot of fans are a bit against HasLab because they see it as nothing more than greed on Hasbro's part, because they're trying to capitalize on adult collectors. And I've got a couple of the HasLab figures, but they're not worth the money they're asking for them. They're not. I mean, I've got Deathsaurus, and I've also got what's his name? I've forgotten his name now. Star Saber. I've got Star Saber with Leo Kaiser, I think it is, and I've got Deathsaurus, both HasLabs. They're great figures. Don't get me wrong; they are great figures, but yeah, I wouldn't say they are worth the money they were asking for them and the money I paid for them. They're certainly not worth that because, you know, the plastic is relatively quite cheap on them. Yes, they are a limit. You can argue they're a limited run and all that kind of jazz, but yeah, you can argue they're a limited run and all this. That, you know, there's not as many of them. They're only kind of creating so many. But yeah, I just don't. I mean, yeah, it's just HasLab. A lot of people have a negative thing about HasLab. I understand where some fans are when it comes to HasLab and not wanting to touch HasLab, because I know, because obviously there's been some issues with QC problems as well, like people receiving the figures and the breaking out the box, like snapping joints and stress marks and stuff when it comes to certain parts of the figure. Like the brand new one that just came out, the Robots in Disguise 2001 Optimus Prime, the Omega Prime with Ultra Magnus and Optimus Prime from 2001. Robots in Disguise series. That HasLab figure, people have received it, that backed it. However, people have had issues of there's been like stress marks appearing on the figure, which tells me the plastic is shit. The plastic is they are using really shit plastic on something that is technically a premium, supposed to be a premium product. Yeah, I'm not going to buy any more HasLab stuff. I can't really afford to buy any more anyway, because they are asking a little bit too much for them. But I've got the two that I've got. I've got no issues with QC issues on the ones I have, but I don't plan on buying any more HasLab stuff at the moment. But that was a very long-winded response, Sam. I do apologise for that. I hope you haven't fallen asleep, but there we are. That's my opinion on how things have changed. Raymond. Yeah, both are 5 minutes per episode. Both are cheap CGI. Sab Weld is US, King is Japanese. Right, okay. Raymond again. Well, sure. Bait always blows stuff up. That's obviously leaves an impact. Very much so. And he says again, he forgot Star Saber's name. Shame. Yeah, I apologise. Right, I'm gonna. If anybody else wants to ask me any, you don't have to just ask me the one question. You can keep asking me questions as long as I'm live. Just keep asking me whatever. But yeah, I am going to bring up in a moment. I'm going to bring up my, as you can see now, I'm going to bring up my video, which was my announcement video talking about this viewers Q&A. This live stream. I said I was going to do a live stream, Q&A answers live stream, and this was the video where I received the questions I was asked. I only received questions via the video comments. I didn't get sent. I don't think I got sent anything else. Let me just double check. Let me just double check where I posted it, just to make sure I don't accidentally forget somebody. Nothing on that one. Strange, we can't find the demand it on here. Oh, there it is. No. Yeah, so it is literally I haven't got anything more sent question wise. Let me just check Instagram just to make sure, and then we'll move swiftly on with the questions I was sent and answer those, and then see what else happens, see if anybody else joins me. Nope. I haven't got any more, so that's fine. It just makes things a little bit more simplified, I will say. But anyway, so let's go to it. I hope you're seeing it. Right. So I was sent well, actually, I was only sent 2 people asked me questions. One was simply a congratulations one, but I'm going to start off with Alpha Prime. I don't know if you can see these clear enough. If you can't, I apologise. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit more. That's a bit better. Should be able to see that a bit better now. Hello, Amanda Gordon. Right, oops. Right. So then, let me. Right. So Alpha Prime, my good friend Alpha Prime, he sent me 5 questions altogether. So Alpha Prime, he says, number 1, favourite Transformers show and why? Right. Famous Transformers show and why? Favourite Transformers show and why? So question number 1. Well, people won't be surprised by this answer, will they? I can already tell people are probably what. Well, it says there's only 3 people watching currently. However, sometimes that isn't accurate. For some reason, the viewer thing, I don't think it works correctly. Because when you look back on it, there has actually been more people that have viewed it than what it actually says. But favourite Transformers show and why? This will not be surprising. Beast Wars. Beast Wars is my favourite number 1. Why? Is because it was my G1. Beast Wars was my G1. Why I say it in that way is because everybody has a G1. From when you're born and your first time seeing something that happens to be Transformers, whether it's something that is brand new that is airing at that point in time and you have a fond memory of watching that series, that is your G1. That's how I see it. That's my mindset. So Beast Wars is my G1 and it happens to be part of the G1 continuity now, doesn't it? So yeah, Beast Wars is my G1. I absolutely love Beast Wars. Why I love it so much is because the writing is sublime. It has to be the strongest writing when it comes to a majority of animated series for Transformers. You know, you had the man, the legend that was Simon Furman write the finale, the very last episode. The very last episode, Simon Furman wrote and was fantastic. The voice cast was fantastic. You know, Venus Terzo, Gary Chalk, Scott McNeil, Ian James Collett, and everybody else, Doug Parker, and a few other names that I can't remember right now. But, you know, such an incredible voice cast that really embodied those characters really, really well. Considering Gary Chalk was the first voice actor to ever go at Optimus Primal. Yes, it's Optimus Primal. But it was Gary Chalk, I think, was the first English actor, besides Peter Cullen, to actually portray Optimus Prime, or a version of Optimus. And I don't know how Gary Chalk felt back then. I don't know how he would have felt. You know, there were big shoes to fill. You know, Peter Cullen was Optimus Prime for Generation 1. G2 was re-airing, I think, as well, in the G2 era. And then, obviously, 2001 Robots in Disguise series was obviously Neil Kaplan. So he was the third iteration of an English actor voicing Optimus Prime, I believe. And then Gary Chalk came back for the Unicron trilogy for actual Optimus Prime. So, you know, it was just an incredible voice cast. It was an incredible voice cast. The writing is the strength of that series. It has to be said. Yes, I will be honest. The animation is dated. The animation is dated to say today's standards. It is dated. However, it's still through the writing, it still captivates audiences to this day. It still keeps me coming back for more. You know, I love it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love Beast Wars. It has to be said. Beast Wars for me is my number one. I will just give you. I don't know if you've asked. I don't know. Let me just give a quick look. Right. Okay. I'm just making sure he hasn't asked me this question as well. But yeah. I would say a close second Transformers series for me. Number one is Beast Wars, but my number two is Transformers Prime. Just to kind of give you an extra. Transformers Prime, again, very strong writing, but I love it more because the Decepticons were good. I love Transformers Prime because they were stronger characters with the Decepticons when it came to personality, when it came to contributing to the story. I think the Decepticons contributed more to the story than the Autobots. However, I do love RC. You know, RC was the strongest of the Autobots when it came to performances. And she was just a badass. She was just absolutely badass. Fantastic character. But yeah, Transformers Prime will be my number two after Beast Wars. So, let's go again to the questions. So, number two, favourite Transformers character and why? So, number two, he asks, favourite Transformers character and why? Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Yeah, so tell me why. Favourite Transformers character. This is a bit, well, well, it's actually quite easy. Soundwave. Soundwave's my favourite. Why? I don't know. It's just, I know I sound like a broken record, and I'm a little bit in the shadow of Tony Fussell, Sound of SG1 a little bit when it comes to Soundwave. Obviously, Tony, Sound of SG1, my good friend and fellow TF Nation person and all that, and fellow YouTuber. Obviously, it's his namesake, it's his username. You know, Soundwave is everything to him, and which is fine. But Soundwave is also my favourite character, and there's just something different about him. It's just something different about him compared to the other characters, the other Decepticons and the other Autobots. He's got the cassette bots. I mean, what can I say? The cassette bots are the best part. You know, yeah, you've got Blaster, who is also the Autobot version of, you know, he's got the cassette bots as well. But Soundwave is awesome. He's really intelligent. He is a second in command next to Megatron. He's faithful to Megatron. And he is just, it's just a really cool character. It's just a really cool character. I love how he sounds, the whole monotone, robotic machine voice he has. And I just absolutely love I actually preferred the cassette bots Soundwave has compared to Blasters. You know, you've got Ravage, you've got, you know, Frenzy, Rumble, Laserbeak, Buzzsaw, and so on and so forth. There's loads of versions, but, you know. Yeah. Yeah, Soundwave is my favourite. Number three, Alpha Prime asks, What shows / movies would you recommend to a new Transformers fan? So, what shows / movies would you recommend to a new Transformers fan? Hang on a second. What am I doing? There we go. Raymond says, sorry, Gary Chalk was the narrator for most of the G1 US commercials. Oh, he was. So he was already familiar with the brand when he started doing Primal. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Thank you, Raymond. I didn't know that at all. That's awesome. Gary Chalk was the narrator for most of the G1 US commercials. I didn't know that. That's interesting. And now you know. And no one's half the battle. G.I. Joe. Yeah, awesome. That's really cool. I never even knew that. That's really cool. Anyway, so let's get back to. Let me just. What was it? What shows / movies would you recommend to a new Transformers fan? Excuse me. I would recommend Transformers 1 to a new Transformers fan. It deserves more love than it got after the abysmal marketing on Hasbro's part and Paramount's part. Whoever you point fingers at, it was somebody's job to do marketing, and they did not do a very good job at it. And whoever ticked off and approved those trailers needs firing. Yeah, Transformers 1 is a Transformers movie I would recommend to a new Transformers fan. It's fun, it's family friendly, it's dark, it's also got a lot of good humour in it. It's everything of a family film. It's a great family film you can watch with your grandparents, your parents, who have you, with your siblings or whatever. You know, it's a really good family fun film, and it gives you a little bit of the lore, even though it is slightly different to what the other parts of the continuity within Transformers brand. But it gives you a bit of lore, it gives you a bit of a backstory of the 13 primes, and it gives you a bit of a history of the Transformers race, basically, with an interesting spin. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Transformers 1 to a new Transformers fan to check out. A series, I would say check out Prime if they haven't done so already, and I would also say check out Transformers Animated. Transformers, I would say check out Beast Wars, Animated, and Prime, because I personally think those three are the strongest when it comes to writing good characters. But that's me. It's not all about me. Everyone has different opinions when it comes to stuff. Not everybody's going to like the same things as I do, which I completely understand and agree. So, but I would definitely say Transformers 1 to a new. I would definitely recommend Transformers 1 to a new Transformers fan to check out. I'd also recommend Beast Wars. Check out Beast Wars as a series. Check out Animated as a series, and check out Prime as a series. Yeah, definitely. Number 4. Sorry, Alpha Prime asks, what are your top 5 shows outside of Transformers? Ooh, wow. What are your top 5 shows outside of Transformers? Oops. Wow. Let me think. There's a lot. I mean, I'm a big fan of animation in general. I would say in my top 5, TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I mean, I'm obviously I remember the original 80s series, obviously, because it was reruns back in the 90s and early 2000s. I remember watching the original, but my favourite TMNT series that I really fell in love with was, I think, was it the 2012 series, which was CGI. It was the first series with TV series that was produced in CGI. Um, yeah, I really love that series, TMNT. I've forgotten it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I think it was the 2012, 2013 series. I really love that one. I just think it captured the heart of what TMNT was all about, like back in the 80s and the early 2000s stuff. But it kind of give them. I love the goofiness of it. I love the goofiness of it. I love the expressions they made. The voice acting talent behind it was great. They brought Rob Paulson back to play, I think, Donatello. Yeah, it's just I think it was just a great series all around. I really recommend. That's number one is that one, 2012, 2013 TMNT series. Second, I would say Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, which is the animated series after after the original Ghost in the Shell films. So yeah, Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. I know it's a completely different thing to TMNT, but it's an animated series. But yeah, Ghost in the Shell standalone complex is number two. Number three is Full Alchemist Brotherhood. It has everything you could ever want from a series. Fantastic adaptation to the manga compared to the original anime that came out. Great music, great soundtrack, brilliant voice acting. Even the dub is good as well. Just fantastic, just brilliant. So that's number three. Number four, Bleach. Bleach. Another anime, but Bleach is probably number four. 1,000 Year Blood War. If you haven't seen, I recommend people check out Bleach, the original series. Check out all of Bleach, and definitely I recommend 1,000 Year Blood War. It is absolutely fantastic. Some of the best animation I've seen in a long time. Um, Fantastic. So number four, Bleach. Number five, I would say. Number five. Number five. Number five. Number five. Number five. Number five. I'm gonna have to say it's a toss up between two for number five spot, and they're relatively quite recent series. Relatively quite recent series. Fuck it. Sorry. Sod it. I'm gonna say both. I'm gonna say a 5 and a 6 option. Yeah, gonna say 5 and a 6 option. So for number 5, I'm gonna say Arcane, the Netflix animated series Arcane based on League of Legends. So I would say number 5 is Arcane. I just think there was only 2 seasons of it, but I think it was some of the most sublime animation I've seen next to Bleach and a few other series I've seen. I just think the animation is absolutely just out there. The production value is incredible. The characters, Vi and all the characters are just fantastic. So I would say Arcane for number 5. Number 6, I would say Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Cyberpunk Edge Runners is number 6. I know you didn't ask for number 6, but I'm going to mention a 6th option, and I'll say Cyberpunk Edge Runners. It was a very short run. I think it was 10 episodes altogether. Oh, I don't know. It was a short series. However, it was incredibly impactful. The characters were fantastic. The voice acting was great. It was tragic. It was funny. It was action packed. It was everything I love from animation. So yeah, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, I would definitely say, and I'm looking forward to season 2 of Edge Runners. I'm very much looking forward to that. So there's that one. Let me just double check. Number 5, with the likes of Mask seemingly making a comeback, what other shows would you like to see return? So with the likes of Mask seemingly making a comeback, what other show would you like to see return? I would say, I mean, I'm happy Mask is coming back. I'm happy Mask is coming back. I am actually considering buying into the new Mask toys. Mask, I think, deserves a comeback. I would definitely say deserves an updated animated series. Yeah, Mask needs a bit more love. I mean, I do love the original Mask series. I've got the full collection box set of Mask. Yes, it's a bit dated. It's very cheesy and doesn't hold up as strongly compared to other stuff, but it's still fantastic. And I would definitely say Mask deserves a comeback in the toy line, and also I think in media, cartoons and comic books and stuff. Another series that I think deserves a comeback. I don't know. I really don't know. Really, I'm gonna just stick with Mask. I think I'm gonna stick with Mask. I'm not quite sure about other stuff because I'm not as familiar with other cartoons. Actually, yes, I do. I do have an answer for that. Visionaries. Visionaries. Yeah, I would say Visionaries because Visionaries only ran for like one season. I think they did one series, and it was one of those obscure ones. But yeah, it really did a good. It really. Yeah, I think that's definitely an option. Visionaries. I would also probably say Gargoyles. It would be interesting, kind of, I don't know, maybe bring gargoyles back. I know they are still kind of making. They have released some collector figures recently. I think was it NECA or somebody, I can't remember. But they did release all of the gargoyle characters, all the characters in the series. They did release them as like adult collector figures. But yeah, as an actual toy line and as an actual animated series, there's only ever been one. So I would definitely say Visionaries was interesting. I like the premise of Visionaries. It's kind of like it's like Power Rangers, but it's like set in the days of knights and like D&D. Kind of like D&D slash with Power Rangers. It's like that kind of esque of combination, if that makes sense. Because you've got like the chest and everything, and they've got the symbol, and these animal things come out, like they're animal beasts and stuff, and it's really kind of cool. Hello, Buzz. So that's everything Alpha Prime asked. Thank you very much, Alpha Prime, for that. Raymond, same with Cyberworld. Horrible marketing. Most people don't even know the show exists, and that you can catch them every Saturday on their YouTube channel. Yeah, I only know of it because it was shared. A couple of people were sharing it. I think you was one of them, Raymond, of course, but then there was somebody else, and that's the only thing why I know of it. But yeah, I just think the marketing at the moment, the marketing team at Hasbro or whoever, are just shockingly bad at their job. There needs to be some change. There needs to be some change. You know, there needs to be some change. There needs to be, yeah, something needs to happen. Something does need to happen. I mean, there's stuff happening. There's meant to be like a massive restructure going on. People have lost their jobs. People have been replaced behind the scenes at Hasbro HQ, and so on. And also Hasbro have decided not to co-fund any live action projects for Transformers anymore. So yeah, it's a bit up in the air, isn't it? It's a bit weird, a bit funny. Raymond again says, bring back Jace and the Wheeled Warriors. Yeah, I don't think I've really seen it. I haven't really looked into Jace and the Wheeled Warriors. And I've seen the opening song and everything for it, but I haven't really looked into that series. But yeah, that was definitely an option. Okay, so going back again to the second person that asked me a question on my video. The video in question is this thank you 700 subs viewers Q&A. So the second person to ask me a question was Rodimus Minor. He asked me 5 again. So here we go. So 5 again. So he asks, number 1, not counting Optimus Prime versus Megatron in the 86 movie, what has been your favourite on-screen Transformers fight scene? Right, okay. Oh. Not counting Optimus Prime versus Megatron in the 86 movie, what has been your favourite on-screen Transformers fight scene? Ooh. I don't know. I'm trying to scratch my head around what's actually happened. I haven't watched a lot of Transformers for a while, to be honest. I can't remember exactly what happens. It's technically not a fight scene per se. Well, it is a fight scene, but it's a sequence. You can argue whether it's sequence, whatever, but it's a sequence in Transformers Prime. It is a fight scene because it's Optimus Prime and Ratchet fighting a horde of zombies, zombie Dark Energon zombie things, and also involved in that you've got Megatron and Starscream and stuff kind of in the foreground there as well. I know it's not like a mono like 2 characters facing off, but that is a fight sequence that I really love. Ratchet, Transformers Prime, Optimus Prime, and Ratchet showing just how good they are as warriors, and showing just how good Ratchet is in a fight. And you just see them just lay waste to endless hordes of these zombie Transformers that Megatron brought back. I really love that episode. That is one of my favourite episodes. But yeah, I think, to be honest, I need to go back and watch a lot of Transformers. I need to revisit a lot of the past stuff because I can't quite remember exactly what pans out because it's been a while. But yeah, that is definitely a fight sequence I do love. Number 2. Excuse me. Number 2. What has been your favourite purchase at TFN? What was your grail that you found? Oof. Hmm. I don't know. I don't really have a grail, to be honest. I don't really have a grail. Yeah, I don't really have a grail, to be quite honest with you. Favorite purchase from TF Nation. I'm looking around my collection because I'm trying to recollect what I've actually bought at a TFN because I can't quite remember. Because over the years, I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff that I bought from TFNs, and I've just not appreciated what I bought because I've been an idiot and bought too much. Now I'm very, very picky of what I pick up, and I only pick up stuff that I generally am interested in now. So, what have I bought from TF? I will say last year I was very happy to pick up Masterpiece Beast Wars Rhinox because I only have two figures, Masterpiece Beast Wars figures, official ones. I only have two. Well, I've got three of them, but two of them are the same character but slightly different decor. Yeah, basically, Rhinox Beast Wars Masterpiece Beast Wars Rhinox was, it's been a while since any Masterpiece Beast Wars figures was announced to come out, and when Rhinox was announced, I was like, yes, I need to get Rhinox. Rhinox is one of my favorite characters. Rhinox is one of my favorite characters in Beast Wars within Transformers, and I just looked at I saw like the pictures, and I thought he looks absolutely fantastic, and I managed to pick him up from TFN last year. So I would definitely say, very much so, Masterpiece Beast Wars Rhinox was one of my favourite purchases from TF Nation, which was last year's. So that's that one. But as a Holy Grail, I don't really have a Holy Grail because, like I said, I'm not a completist collector. People ask me questions like this, and which is fine, of course, but I'm not a typical collector in the same sense of being a collector. People collect things in order to complete a collection. You know what I mean? That's what a collection term stands for, or means, is primarily somebody that collects the entirety of it, has a complete collection. I'm not a completist. I don't buy literally everything with a Transformers standpoint. I'm very picky. The only lines I buy into the most is Beast Wars and Prime, because I primarily love those two series the most, and I think, and also I love the toy. The toy lines are quite cool for both. I don't really have I don't have one really. Nah, I don't have one. I don't have a grail at all, to be honest. If people have been paying attention as well, I've been feeling a bit burnt out with the brand as of late. I've been feeling a bit burnt out with Transformers toys because everything coming out is practically the same. It's the same characters being re-released, but slightly different repaint or slightly different mold, and I'm getting bored of the same ones. Like, it's all the amount of Optimuses there is, and the amount of Megatrons there is, and the amount of Bumblebees there are, and I'm just getting bored of the same repetitive characters being released all the time. It's just, there's nothing capturing my imagination anymore. There's just nothing appealing to me. The only characters I have that I will happily pay, irrespective of how, I don't, the only characters, or the only figures or toys or character, the only character I will happily buy multiples of, different mold, different version of, is anything Beast Wars. Anything that's a Beast Wars character. Any of the Beast Wars characters, like, if they brought a new Scorponok out, or if they brought a new Pterosaur out, or if they brought a new rampage out or something like that, I will happily pay money out for another version, an updated version. Even though I already have the original Rampage, but I will happily pay money for another version of Rampage or anything from Beast Wars. Same with Prime. I will happily pay. I'm not interested. I mean, obviously, I've got like, I think I've got 2 versions of the Optimus Prime, and I've got 2 versions of the Megatron. I've got RC, of course, and I've got Bumblebee, and I've got Ultra Magnus, I've got Smokescreen, yeah, I've got a fair few up there. Yeah, I've got a fair few up there. But yeah, but yeah, it's like they're the only lines that I'm quite, or certain characters within those lines where I'm quite happy to, where I'm quite happy to pay extra, pay for another version or an updated version of a character. But for the most part, I've just been really burnt out with a brand, to be honest. I know it's a very long-winded explanation, but there we are. Number 3, how is life treating you? From Rodimus Miner. How is life treating you? No, not bad. Not too bad, I guess. How's life treating me? Not too bad. Just same old. As people know, I do suffer from a bit of, depression and anxiety, and it does peak now and again. I have been trying to kind of adopt the whole. I have been trying to kind of think a little bit more. I've been trying to think a little bit more. Fucking hell, I can't get my bloody words out tonight. I've been trying to think more happy thoughts. I've been trying to think more. There we are, positively. I've been trying to think more positively about life and about things, and trying not to think, trying to not put as much emphasis and dwell on things, and just try and kind of feel a bit more happier in myself, in my own skin. I am somebody that does suffer from a bit of anxiety and depression, as people know, and also I do have some insecurities about myself and stuff, and I'm trying to kind of, I'm trying to kind of like change my perception of things, and trying to adopt a different mindset, a more positive mindset. And I have been feeling a bit better in myself through doing that. I have felt a bit better doing that, and I felt a bit more happier within myself a little bit. Obviously I'm only human. There has been times where it hasn't been as, I have felt a bit shit, but at the end of the day, you just brush yourself off and carry on going forward, and that's what I intend to do. Yeah. Sammy, evening all. Hi Sammy, how you doing, my friend? You join me on my 700 subscribers special Q&A. If you have a question to ask me, by all means, Sammy, you're more than welcome to ask me a question. I'm just at the moment answering Chris and Tim, or Chris's Rodimus Miner's questions. So he asked a 4th one: if you could have dinner with 5 Transformers characters, who would they be and why? Optimus Primal, Rhinox, Rat Trap, RC, Transformers Prime RC, and that would be a very interesting combination. And I don't know if a 5th. A 5th. Dinobot. Beast Wars Dinobot. as my fifth. Yeah, that'd be a very interesting combination on a dinner table. That would be really interesting. Really interesting dynamic. Number 5 is yeah, seeing let's see if you are. Minus number 5, minus G1 actors. Who is your idol? Mine is Gary Chalk. So minus G1 actors. Who is your idol? Voice actor that's been in Transformers, I guess. Gary Chalk is definitely up there for me. However, one of my all-time idols that's voice characters in Transformers. I would have to say possibly Scott McNeil. Scott McNeil is definitely up there. Definitely one of my idols because that man, he's incredible. I mean, the fact that he literally voices 5 characters in Beast Wars alone. One man, and he voices 5 characters, and he has the ability to do that. It's just incredible. Yeah, Scott McNeil is definitely one of my idols within as voiced a character or characters in Transformers. I would definitely say a close second would be Steve Bloom. A close second voice actor that's voiced Transformers. Obviously, he was Starscream in Transformers Prime, but one of my voice acting idols is Steve Bloom. I mean, obviously, he's been in a lot of stuff. Obviously, he's Cowboy Bebop. He's been in Naruto. He's been in Eureka 7. He's been in. What's he been in? Star Wars. Star Wars Rebels. Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff, and yeah. But I'd say my number 1 idol for the number 5 question, I would say Scott McNeil is my number 1 idol. That is voice actor. That's voiced a character in Transformers. My second choice would be Steve Bloom because they are both incredible. And that's that. That's all the questions that they're the 2 people that sent me questions prior to this live stream. So there we go. Thank you very much, Rodus Manor, and thank you very much to Alpha Prime for sending me those. So that's that done, and there we are. Sammy, it's really cool that we get to see Scott McNeil again. It is really cool, and it is really cool. I'm very, very happy Scott is coming back. I mean, I'm not going to go into specifics. I'm not going to say what happened, but I'm very surprised. That's all I'm going to say. I'm very, very surprised they managed to pull this out of the bag. I really am. I really am indeed. I really am surprised. I mean, I'm not going to bring up 2010 in Scott's presence, even though it did happen. But unless he mentions it himself, if he brings it up in conversation himself, then okay. But if he does not, then I'm not going to mention it in front of him. And when I meet him, I'm just going to make it feel as if it's my first time ever meeting the guy, because it has been a while since 2010. It's been quite a while. But yeah, things was a bit fishy. Things didn't go quite according to plan, and things were a bit shit with the handling of Scott back in 2010. But that's as far as I'm going to say. But yeah, I'm not going to bring it up at TF Nation this year. I'm going to go and meet the guy. Going to get a photo with him. I'm going to say thank you very much for what I've got to say to him, and that's about that. But yeah, I mean, I'm very happy TF Nation have managed to pull this miracle out of their repertoire, out of their bag, so to speak. I'm so glad Scott's going to be at TFN. I'm very happy to see Neil Kaplan as well, because it's been a fair few years since I saw him as well. Met him, Neil Kaplan. Surefire Miles is another great one. Even though I'm not a massive fan of Age of Extinction, I think it's a bit shit. But however, it's still cool to have one of the actors from Transformers, from a live-action Transformers film, at TF Nation. So that's going to be cool. Yeah, it's going to be cool. The guests are really, really cool this year. Really cool. Yes, I mean, I'm very much looking forward to TF Nation. I really, really am. I'm very much looking forward to it. I always do look forward to TF Nation. It's scary just how quickly it's come around again. I must say, it's come around really, really quickly. It really has. Really scary. We're literally like halfway through the year already. We're like almost halfway through the year. When August comes, that's half the year gone. And then a couple of years down, a couple months down the line, I start my bloody Christmas hours again, which I'm not looking forward to. God, Christmas hours at my place. Oh my God, where are we now? You think Christmas is bad for most people? Mine is exceptionally bloody bad. I don't even see daylight. That's the thing. I hardly see any scrap of daylight from morning to night. It's that bloody bad. Because I'm always at work, and obviously with it being December and that, you got pitch black mornings and pitch black the evenings are drawing quicker. So it's just black, just darkness, like my soul. But anyway, how's everybody doing in the chat? If anybody's still watching, there's 3 people currently watching. Currently, it's been the same 3 people all night, pretty much. There's been the odd 4th or 5th. But how's everybody doing out there? Hope everybody's well. Hope you're well, Raymond. If you're still watching, I hope everything's well with you, Sammy. I don't know if you're watching still, Sam. I don't know. Obviously, Pete. Obviously, it's Transformers the show. A lot of focus will be on Transformers the show tonight. I think I picked a bad night really to do this live stream. But to be honest, Fridays are the only time I can do it. And I know TF Transformers the show guys, they do every single Friday. It's their night. It's their time to do their show. And obviously they generate a lot of buzz and a lot of interest. And obviously they're talking about TF Nation tonight, so they will be generating a lot of the traffic tonight. So that's probably why my stream's been a little bit quiet. However, I'm very happy with it. The whole point of me doing this live stream was, I know it's 700 subscribers, and people might think I've been really vain. Some people might think I've been quite vain with talking about something like 700 subscribers and making a big deal of it by making a live stream and a Q&A. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really care how many subscribers I have. I just enjoy the process. I enjoy making videos on YouTube, and I enjoy the process. I enjoy recording the videos and editing them and uploading them. What I don't like is the algorithm not helping me out. Because I literally have to go through other means in order to get my videos noticed. And I generate, I don't like going down this road because it makes me sound really needy and everything. And I'm not that type of person. But, yeah, I have to go down other means in order to get my videos noticed. And that's usually through social media, through Facebook, through Threads, Sky Blue, other social media accounts. And if I don't do that, my video doesn't even get seen. Like people that subscribe to me don't even see it. Don't even know I've even uploaded. Which is really discouraging, you know, because I make videos to entertain people, and I do it for myself because I enjoy it. I find it very therapeutic to make videos. It helps me. It kind of like gives me something to focus on when I do a video, and gets me out of my head for a bit. And you know, when I'm, you know, so it kind of, you know, I enjoy the whole process, but it's just when YouTube doesn't like help me out. Doesn't let people that subscribe to me don't see what I do. You know, they don't see what I do, and yeah, it's just a bit discouraging. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just a little discouraging when it happens, but that's the only downside to the whole YouTube thing. Because like I say, I only generate something like 40 views a video. That's my average. Is about 30 views. 30 to 40 views is my average. Depending on, there has been a couple of instances where I've had videos be about, you know, there has been a couple of instances where my videos have kind of like done a little bit better. But you know what? You know what's really ironic? The videos that I do better for me, the videos that generally seem to do better for me are my TF Nation videos. Anything that I do TFN wise, whether it's a discussion, whether it's an update video, whether it's a live stream, they generate more buzz out of anything else I do. And I can't make TFN content all year round, sadly, but because there's nothing to talk about really, except for certain points when they start announcing guests and stuff. So yeah, I can't make TFN content every single year, throughout the whole year, non-stop. You know, people will get bored of it quickly if I did that. But yeah, it's mad. It's like my TFN stuff. That's my TF Nation videos are the only ones that seem to get noticed. That the algorithm helps me out with the TFN videos because people see it, and people that work behind the scenes at TFN see them. So the algorithm works when it comes to my TFN videos, but when it comes to like my Transformers reviews, when it comes to me talking about films or animation or other stuff I'm interested in, it is like trying to get blood out of a stone sometimes. It really is. It really is. Raymond says, "Oh dear, John is not going to strip to get noticed, is he?" Yeah, it's fine, Raymond. I'm not going to take off this T-shirt right now. No. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to mentally scar you. But yeah, but no, I'm happy with this live stream. Obviously, I've got people watching. I've got obviously Raymond and a few other people have asked me questions live. I've also answered the questions I previously was sent live as well. So yeah, it's a win-win, I guess. It's just obviously we're in, what is it, 3 weeks now? Is it 3 weeks to go until TF Nation, and everybody's in pre-TFN mode now. So yeah, everyone's kind of in pre-TF Nation mode. So everyone's kind of getting their pre-TFN discussions out the way over the next couple of weeks. I will be doing another live stream on this channel on the 1st of August. On Friday the 1st of August, which is literally the Friday before we go to TF Nation. So I will be doing my pre-TF Nation live stream. I will be joined by Sam, Jibsy Firestorm. I'll be joined by Tony, Service G1, and my good friend Lawrence. The four of us that are travelling up together will be coming together for a live stream. If anybody else would like to come on, whether you want to join us in the chat, or if you actually want to join us on camera, let me know. Please let me know if you want to join me, because I will happily send a link to some people if they want to join me. I mean, I don't pay. Obviously, I'm on StreamYard. I don't pay for StreamYard. I'm literally using it for free. And the catch is, on the free version, obviously you've got the watermark right there, which obviously you have to pay for it to get rid of the watermark, and you can put your own later brand there instead if you wish. But yeah, obviously you've got the watermark there, which is a dead giveaway. I don't pay for it. And also you are limited to how many people you can have on your stream at any one time. I can't remember. I'll have to do some research into it. Over this weekend, I might look into it. Over this weekend, I might look into it. How the maximum I can have on a stream. I think it's 6. For back of my mind, I think it's 6. A max of 6 people when you're not paying for it. It's either 6 or 8. I think it's like a max of 10, whether you pay for it or not. I think it's like max of 10, because any more than 10 people on a live stream, yeah, it gets really difficult because you're talking over everybody. It takes forever to get through everybody. When you try to take it in turns, and what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Yeah, I think the max is about 6. I would say 6 is probably the cut-off point for any live stream, whether you pay for it or not. That's just me, because it's just easier to navigate around 6 people than it would be 10 people. It makes things a lot more easier, and you can navigate and direct around a lot easier. That's just me. That's just me. Has anybody got any questions? Anybody want to ask me one last question? Because I'm thinking of bringing this to an end soon. I did say I was going to do about an hour. I'm coming up to over an hour and a half. So if anybody wants to ask me a question before I call it a day, or call it an evening, shall I say, for the stream, it's probably going to be the shortest stream I've ever done, because I always do at least a minimum of 2 hours a stream. But it's quite quiet tonight. It is pretty quiet tonight, and genuinely, Transformers the show probably got a lot of people viewing because of its. I think they talk about TF Nation tonight. I don't know tonight, but yeah, it's all good. I mean, me talking about Transformers the show and saying they're doing a stream the same night. I'm not saying it in a negative way. I'm just saying that's just the reality, because Friday nights is Transformers the show, and they do generate a lot of viewership per stream and a lot of buzz and everything, which is very deserved, I have to say. The Transformers the show guys are brilliant guys. I get on with them. I get on with all the guys that host it. I get on with Paul and Chris and Pete and so on. I'll get on with all of them. The nice guys. And yeah, it's fine. But it's just when they're doing a stream, it does generally get quieter. But yes, if anybody would like to ask me, if you've got a burning question you've been dying to ask me, and now is your chance, go ahead. If you want to ask me one more question, if you wish to. I knew Sam was going to mention this. Sam, talk about K-pop Demon Hunters. This is either going to get me demoted, or I might end up getting more subscribers or I might end up getting less subscribers. I don't know how this would work. This could be a double-edged sword talking about this, primarily on a Transformers discussion. But it's fine. I'm a big fan of anything animated. I'm a big fan of anything animated. I love animation. Yes, Sam, I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it. Do it, do it, do it, do it now. Do it. When you're saying do it, all I can think of is Palpatine. Do it. Yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters. Well, it is a phenomenon that goes without saying. It really has taken a lot of imagination. It has taken the world by storm, quite literally. I'm not joking. Look it up if you don't know what the hell K-pop Demon Hunters is. It is an animated film on Netflix, and it came out 20th of June. Yeah, 20th of June last month. And it's been out for a month. It'll be a month on Sunday, I believe. A month on Sunday since this film came out or released on Netflix, and it has taken the world by storm. And K-pop Demon Hunters, for what people may not have, if people haven't seen it, I recommend it. If you're a fan of animation like I am, whether it's about big giant robots or magic or whatever. If you like music, if you're a fan of music, if you're a fan of demon hunting, like if you're a fan of Buffy, for instance, or something like that, I think you'll get a blast out of it. It's a type of film where you just shut your brain off and you just let it take over. It's that type of thing. It's about 3 girls called Huntrix. That's their group name, and they're a K-pop music group. Now, I don't know anything about K-pop. I know nothing about K-pop. I do not really listen to K-pop normally. I know nothing. And when I first heard about K-pop Demon Hunters, I was a bit like, no, this doesn't sound good to me. Before I saw the film, and before I saw the film, or anything remotely to do with the film, whether before I saw a trailer, before I saw a film, or the film itself, when I saw the article and the announcement of this was being made and coming out on Netflix, I was like, a combination of K-pop singers, a girl group fighting demons sounds like a really weird plot, and it is still weird. It is a weird plot, but it works. I watched the trailer and I was like, this is interesting. This is interesting, but maybe not quite for me. That was my initial thoughts with the trailer. Then the film came out and I gave it a chance. Literally the day it came out, I watched it on the 20th of June. I watched it on the day it released on Netflix. And my God. Yeah, I've watched it 6 times in total. I watched it 6 times. I am pretty much, I won't say, I am a little obsessed with it, to be quite honest. It is quite rare that I get that obsessed over one thing. It's only happened a couple times over my life. Mostly anime. Anime is kind of the main thing I watch that's animated. And in the animated realm of stuff, anime is one of my primary focuses. I'm always watching something produced in Japan, Japanese animation. But I'm a big fan of animation in general, whether it's Japanese, whether it's French, whether it's Korean, whether it's what have you. I don't care. I'll watch it if it's something that appeals to me. Now, I like to give things benefit of the doubt. I like to give things a chance. So I gave K-pop Demon Hunters a chance, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I gave it a chance because it's a good film. The characters are good. You got Huntrix, who's the name of the girl group. You got you know, 3 girls that are hunters, known as hunters, and they're in line of like a generation of girls that throughout history that have basically fought demons and something known as the Hunmoon, something known as a Hunmoon, which is basically a barrier between the world of the living and the world of the demon world. And it's the job of the hunters to basically keep that invisible barrier to the demon world sealed, and they do that through fighting demons and through their song, through singing, through music. And this film captures South Korean pop culture and history relatively quite well, and also folklore as well. It's kind of like, I mean, I don't know much about South Korean folklore and their history and stuff. Um, you know, I don't know much about it, but it's really good. It's a really good film. It's got good comedy in it, good humor. It's got good fight sequences in it. The music, the soundtrack to K-pop Demon Hunters is incredible. It is incredible. Excuse me. It is absolutely incredible. I've listened to the soundtrack a lot. I've listened to the entire soundtrack a lot. My favorite songs from K-pop Demon Hunters is "Your Idol," which is the Sasha Boy song. "Your Idol." The very last song by Huntrix, which I think is "Somebody Like Me" or "Somebody Like You," I think it's called. I can't remember. And then "Golden" is another song I like, and "Free," which is an ensemble. It's a duet. Sorry, it's a duet between Genu and one of the lasses from Huntrix. And yeah, the songs are just really good. The songs just kind of add add extra. Just the soundtrack does a good job of just adding to what's going on in a scenario or in a sequence, whether it's a fight sequence or whether it's just them singing, performing. Just really, really good. I recommend K-pop Demon Hunters to anyone who hasn't seen it yet. I do know it's probably going to be a topic of conversation at TF Nation. I know it will be, because I know at least one person that has seen that is going to TFN besides me and Sam. Besides me and Sam, I know of one other person that has watched K-pop Demon Hunters, and yeah. So I think it's going to be an interesting discussion. Sam again. Now talk about the awesome blue demon tiger. I feel like I've been interrogated here. Yes, there is something called. There is something called. Yeah, the blue demon tiger from K-pop Demon Hunters is a thing. Transformers the show. Evening all. Hello. How we doing? How we doing, boys? Hope you're having a good stream over there in. Hope you're having a good stream. Over at Transformers the Show HQ, as it were. Yeah, it's been a good stream so far for me. It's a lot more simplified compared to yours, of course, but I'm just answering questions here and very happy. But anyway, now talk about the awesome demon tiger. Now let me try and get. Let me just try and get a picture up. Might be easier. Right, I've got it. Let me get it up. There it is. There it is. That is what Sam's talking about. All right, that is what Sam's talking about. The blue demon tiger cat thing. Yeah, this is from K-pop Demon Hunters. This is like a guardian spirit that basically is the protector and guardian of a guy called Genu, who is a demon that, is in the film, one of the Saja boys. And that is a really cool cat. It's a cool tiger. It's like a big, soft, fluffy tiger. What can I say? It's cool. It's cute. There we go, Sam. I've spoken about it. Now my credibility on YouTube is now drastically dropped. Oh, dear. But yeah, I'm very happy indeed. It's been a good stream. I'm very happy. Yes, I do recommend K-pop Demon Hunters. I recommend it. I know it's not going to be for everybody. But like I say, I didn't think K-pop Demon Hunters was going to be I don't think it was going to be any good. When I first heard about it from article form, and then when I saw the trailer, I wasn't really that bothered with it. And then when I checked it out, I was like, the animation's sublime. K-pop Demon Hunters is actually the animations done by the people that did Into the Spider-Verse, the Miles Morales animated films, Spider-Man films. It's the same. It's the same production company that did the animation for K-pop Demon Hunters, that did that did the Into the Spider-Verse and so on, the Miles Morales Spider-Man films. So really cool. Sam, Prime RC versus G1 RC. Ooh, well. Prime RC versus G1 RC. Obviously, RC first appeared in the 86 movie, as we all know. That was her first appearance. And yeah, I mean, she's iconic in G1, but I would definitely say my favourite RC, my personal favourite RC, has to be Prime RC. I know that's going to be a bit controversial, and some people will be like, what? You're going to pick Prime RC over the G1 RC? Yeah, I will. Don't get me wrong, G1 RC is awesome. She's great in the film. Iconic. It was the first alliteration of that character, brought to the big screen. And, but I will say for me, I think the overall package, I think Prime RC is my favourite RC when it comes to the animation, when it comes to the cartoon side, because I just think Prime RC, she's a badass. I think Prime RC, she's the best. I think she's the best character out of the Autobots. Transformers Prime is a good series. I love Transformers Prime. However, it does have problems. And I think, personally, the Autobots aren't as stronger when it comes to this contribution of the story compared to, say, the Decepticons. I think with Transformers Prime, the Decepticons, I think, are stronger when it comes to performances. And I think the characters, the personalities and everything, when it comes to the Decepticons in Prime, I just think they overshine the Autobots. I just think they, you know what I mean? I just think like Knockout is fantastic. I love Knockout from Prime. I just love him. I just absolutely love the whole dynamic between Knockout and Starscream in Prime is just fantastic writing. And obviously Megatron, I think it's probably Transformers Prime Megatron is probably my favourite Megatron next to Frank Welker's. It's Frank Welker, but next to the G1 Megatron. Yeah, I just love Prime for the Decepticons. But Prime RC is my favourite of the Autobots. I think she's stronger when it comes to her personality. It overshines more. I love Prime RC. She's protective. She's like a big sister to Jack, who's her human partner. Um, she's protective of Jack. She's also very respectful of Jack's mother as well. I love that she kind of takes that motherly big sister kind of thing when she's protecting him and everything. I like that side of her. She's sassy. She's feisty. She's capable in a fight. She's just a really cool character, Prime RC. So I will definitely say for that question, Sam, Prime RC over G1 because I just think she's just well rounded. She's just more well rounded as a character. She's got more to her compared to the G1 counterpart. That's just my opinion, and that's not going to be everybody's opinion. Everyone's going to have a different opinion, but a lot of people, even to this day, Transformers Prime still gets a bad rap. Transformers Prime, within the fan base, there's still this 50-50 divide between fans. I do understand because season 1 is probably the slowest and the most boring of the seasons. I remember because when Transformers Prime, you got the 5-part special opener, which they released separately. Was it? I don't know. There was a 2 or 3. Was it 3-parter or something? But they had like the first couple episodes of Transformers Prime season 1 was the whole arc around Cliffjumper, and him dying, being killed, and him being brought back with the Dark Energon, and that whole thing, and RC witnessing all this and trying to help him, and the Autobots going to try and find their friend, and it's absolutely. I think for season 1, the first couple episodes where Cliffjumper's in it, I think are the best episodes for season 1. I think season 1 it's still building. It's still like the character development with the characters. It's still building. It's still, what I mean. It's trying to find itself. It's trying to find its identity in the first season, which is understandable. And it is a bit of a slow burner. Season 2, however, for Prime, it comes into its own. I think it comes into its own. The writing's stronger. The Autobots are better, but I think it gets stronger as it goes on. Season 2 and season 3, I think, is when Prime really gets quite good, really good. And then obviously Predacons Rising, the film they did, is fantastic. I won't say it's mind-blowingly fantastic, but it's good. It's a good conclusion to the Prime story continuity. I'm glad that they did actually give it a closing chapter compared to, say, other series. Because originally we was going to get a 4th season. They were going to do a 4th season of Transformers Prime, and they were going to actually... Yeah, they were actually going to do a 4th season of Prime, but then they decided to cancel Prime after season 3. And instead of giving us a 4th season, they gave us a film, which was about an hour long. Called Predacons Rising, which was the conclusion of Beast Hunters. But yeah, it's the same Transformers Animated. I honestly think Transformers Animated deserves a 4th season, because Animated was apparently they were working on art. They were doing character designs. They were working on character designs. They were working on all sorts of stuff behind the scenes to bring us a 4th season of Transformers Animated. But again, they cancelled it after season 3. No, they cancelled it at the 3rd season. Yeah. So basically, kind of like you know, yeah. It's just unfortunate, you know. I mean, if you look at what could have happened, you know, in the fourth season of animated, what could have happened, the characters we could have got Beast. Apparently, there could have been like Beast Wars, like there could have been kind of like cameos from Beast Wars characters. There could have been all these characters were going to come into play in animated if they made if they made a fourth season, it would have probably been a really good. It would have probably been a really really good season. It'd have probably been really strong. Raymond says, "Remember, kids, get all your noses neutered or spayed." Andy Prime, I've not seen it yet. Been rewatching Solo Leveling. Nice one. Oh, Solo Leveling, yes. Nice one, Andy. I love Solo Leveling. That is peak. Yeah, I love it. It's turn your brain off, unfiltered fun, and I love it. Yeah, I love it for that fact. You know, it's a series about a guy. It's a series about a guy who literally just works with himself, and he literally just dominates, and just becomes a league of his own. But the whole idea of obviously he's trying to get the elixir of life. He's trying to get all the ingredients for the elixir of health, life, or whatever to help his mother, isn't he? That's the whole idea. But yeah, if anyone hasn't seen Solo Leveling, Sam, yes, Sam, as you have been prodding me with these questions, very embarrassing questions, some of them. You know, these questions, Sam, Triple Zero Firestorm, Sam, this guy right here, I'm talking about him, that guy right there, him, he has not seen Solo Leveling yet, and I keep giving him ideas of stuff to check out, okay? It took him months to watch 6 episodes of a series which is Arcane. How the hell does it take you months, and I mean months, to watch 2 seasons, which is only about 12 episodes or 6 episodes a season? It takes you months to watch all of Arcane, and Arcane is arguably one of the best animated series out there. And I could not stop watching Arcane when I watched it. I don't know how Sam could not stop watching it, but it is. Sam has this list of animated stuff that I've given him ideas to check out, anime wise, anything animated. The only thing he's watched that I suggested. The only thing Sam has watched recently that I suggested was K-pop Demon Hunters, and now he is literally obsessed with that thing, and he's watched it 8 times, possibly 9 times. I don't know. But anyway, you need to watch Solo Leveling, Sam. You need to watch Solo Leveling. You need to watch that. It is good. And also, yes, you need to watch it. You also there's quite a lot of animated series that you have not watched and you've been sleeping on, are absolute fantastic. And yeah. Oh, hang on. Raymond, sorry, first. Raymond says the first 5 episodes was about the fallout of some epic battle between Autobots and Decepticons, hinting at more content in the future, and then it was never mentioned again. Ah, yes, that makes sense. Yeah, okay, I remember now. EJAS's collection reviews. Hi, hello, how are you doing, man? Sam says, are you ready for the ultimate question? I suppose so, Sam. What is it? What, pray tell, is this question? EJAS's collection reviews. Sorry if I've just butchered that. I apologise. If there was a 4th Beast Wars season, perhaps Rhinox, Waspinator, and Inferno would have finally also gone transmetal. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Beast Wars. It would have been interesting of what happened. I mean, obviously, I know why only certain characters became transmetal. I know why. I know what the reason was for that. Was because of money. Sadly, money is the thing. Because obviously, when Beast Wars first came out, okay. Beast Wars was produced by Mainframe, which was the people that did Reboot, the same people. And so Mainframe were a very small independent animation studio, and they were kind of pioneers in a way, using CGI animation. Reboot was the very first CGI animated series. Obviously, Toy Story was the very first. Toy Story was the very first CGI feature-length film, and Reboot was the very first animated series to be done in CGI. Beast Wars was the second, and basically, from what I can remember, money was problematic. It was there was money constraints. That's why in season one they kind of like had the same number of characters for both sides, for the Predacons and the Maximals. As things were going on, and the series ended up becoming quite a bit of a hit. And as the seasons progressed, they started to add extra characters such as like Quick Strike, Silverball, Rampage, Airazor, Tigatron, and so on. As the series progressed, Depth Charge, and so on. So within the 3 seasons they slowly kind of gave us like extra character just to kind of like have the same number on both sides. And when Transmetals came out, which is season 2, they decided to basically just they didn't change everybody, but they only had the money they didn't have enough money to change all of the designs. That's why only certain ones, sadly, only certain ones became transmetal. The rest were normal. I would have loved to have seen Rhinox. I definitely agree with what you're saying there, Ajas. I recommend. I would have loved to have seen all of the characters in transmetal form. I would love to have seen all of them. Scorponok, what Scorponok would have looked like, what the Fusors would have looked like. That would have been interesting. That the Fusors, Silverbolt, and Quick Strike, and so on. It would have been interesting what they would have looked like in transmetal format. But unfortunately, same with Dinobot. It would have been pretty interesting to see a transmetal Dinobot. Even though they technically did do transmetal Dinobot, but he was which in the final season 3, which is when Dinobot dies, when Dinobot is killed, or he dies in battle, and they kind of rebuilt Dinobot and they kind of called him Transmetal 2 Dinobot, but it's technically kind of it's basically Dinobot kind of been rebuilt, and he's basically more robotic than he's obviously more robotic than what he used to look like. So yeah, so they technically did do Transmetal Dinobot in the end, but yeah, it would have been cool to see Rhinox, Pterosaur, Inferno, Waspinator, all the ones that did not get. Also, Black Arachnia. It would have been pretty cool to all the characters that did not get a Transmetal 2 design or Transmetal 3 design, or Transmetal 2 design, should I say? All the characters that did not get Transmetal design, it would have been cool to see them, what they would have looked like. It would have been pretty cool to see what they would have looked like as Transmetals. So all the characters, all the Predacons, all the Maximals, all got Transmetal 2 or Transmetal designs. It would have been pretty cool. I mean, I love Tarantulas. I love Tarantulas's design, Transmetal design. I prefer Tarantulas Transmetal design to his original design, if that makes sense. Even though I love. Hang on, sorry. I thought my internet connection died slightly then. That almost gave me a heart attack. Anyway, but yeah, so like when it comes to Tarantulas, I hope you're still hearing me. But when it comes to Tarantulas, Tarantulas is my favourite of the Predacons. One of my favourite characters when it comes to the Predacons, and I love Tarantulas' design, his original design. But when it's his Transmetal design is, I think it's peak. I just love those colours, the colour combinations. It's just so striking and all really out there visually, and I just love his design, Transmetal. Yeah, I'd love to have seen all the other characters in Transmetal form in the animated series, all of them. Would have been pretty cool. But like I say, sadly, due to money, they could only afford to do so many, which was obviously Primal, of course, Rat Trap, Cheetor, because I think they were the more popular characters. Arguably, I think obviously Primal is kind of obvious that we're going to give him a Transmetal design. He's the leader. And obviously, Rat Trap was obviously comedy relief. Of course, Rat Trap's going to get one, and Cheetor, he's the young kind of hot rod kind of character of Beast Wars. So yeah, and the same with the Predacons. Obviously, Megatron, of course, Tarantulas, of course. Yeah, but yeah, yes, good question, good comment, Andy. Arcane was great. It was fantastic. Sam, why am I still 3 episodes from? You're still? Are you kidding me right now? You just heard me live, okay? You just heard me live. Tell Sam I don't know how it took you months to watch all of Arcane, and it's literally only about 6 episodes for both seasons, about 12 altogether for 1 and 2, seasons 1 and 2. He has still not finished Arcane. He's only watched 3 episodes of Arcane. How the hell have you not watched all of Arcane yet? It is so good. How? I cannot understand how you can be sleeping on such a good series like that. I don't get it. I don't get it, Sam. What is going on? Put K-pop Demon Hunters down for one night and watch all of Arcane. It's so good. Anyway, AJS's collection review. To save time and money, they did not animate Transmetal Rat Trap using his whipping tail weapon. To save time, they just reused his firing guns. Right, that makes sense. Andy Prime says, I would like a follow-on to Beast Machines. Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, I would love another animated series based around the Beast Wars characters. I don't want a reboot. No. Unfortunately, we live in a world where everything is rebooted, and I don't like. I'm kind of getting sick of reboots and remakes of things. We don't need a reboot or a remake of Beast Wars, the original Beast Wars series, because it doesn't need it. It's perfect, in my opinion. It's perfect. The writing is incredible. Yeah. When it comes to I would like a continuation. Beast Machines was interesting. I do like Beast Machines. I have full respect for Beast Machines because they were trying to push it. That it was very interesting. The character dynamic and everything in Beast Machines was totally different. I wasn't a big fan of some of the designs. I will be honest. I wasn't a big fan of some of the designs for the Maximals. I didn't like what they did with Rat Trap either, because Rat Trap, I thought it was a wasted character in Beast Machines compared to Beast Wars. In Beast Wars, he contributed a lot. He did a lot. He did his espionage. He did his spying. He did his stuff. He actually did get involved in fights. He actually did a lot in the original Beast Wars series. But in Beast Machines, he's literally throughout most of the first season of Beast Machines, he's struggling to be able to transform. He literally, for multiple episodes, he can't figure out how to transform his new form, and it's just him like trying to be funny, trying to trying to be funny, and him trying to transform, and then he's kind of like, yeah, sorry, but you just destroyed Rat Trap for me with that. Also, what's his name? The guy who transformed into the bat. Is it? I can't remember his name. He transformed into a bat in Beast Machines, and the toy for that is disgusting. And I think the character design in the series is awful as well. I think he's probably one. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind Primal. I think Primal looks great in Beast Machines. Primal looks good. Black Arachne looks alright. Yeah, just it really was an interesting. Creatively, it was a very interesting character designs. However, I do love the Decepticon / Predacon. Well, I would say they're more Decepticons in Beast Machines. Would you? I would not say the Predacon anymore. But I do love Thrust. I love Thrust in Beast Machines, and I love Thrust and Jetstorm. Jetstorm, and Thrust are my two favourite characters for the bad guys. Your location matches your, what is it? What did he say? Your, trying to remember one of his catchphrases that I love. Let me just find it. Oh yeah, I love this one. Jetstorm, I love this one. It's just like, only three things wrong with that little theory. One, we are not drones. Two, we are not mindless. And three, problems, my middle name. Oh, I absolutely love this. Is bringing stuff back now. I'm trying to find one in particular saying of his that I absolutely love, and I cannot find it right now. Yeah, how annoying. Yeah, this is a good one as well. Please feel free to move about the tarmac and flee for your miserable little life. Gotta catch 'em all and swing batty. Yeah, that's it, Raymond. You've read it. Yes, Raymond. But yeah, to carry on with Andy Prime, what he said there, I will definitely say Beast Machines does need a continuation. I would like to. They need to kind of. I don't think it would happen, but Beast Machines. They need to kind of work on it. I would like it if they would kind of like change up the designs a little bit for the Maximals and there needs to be a little bit of change, but there needs, it would be interesting. It would be interesting what happens. Raymond Knowsley still has not watched all 8 5-minute episodes of Wild King. No, I haven't, but yeah. Ajas Collection Reviews says also. Oh, sorry. Also, to save time and money, the Beast Wars Season 1, the 6th Maximal was a the 6th Maximal was a repaint of Cheetor, and the 6th Predacon was a repaint of Tarantulas. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Night Scream, that's it. Yeah, the bat from Beast Machines. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Raymond says, your location, yeah, that's the one I love. Yes, your location matches your situation. Terminal. Yeah. Your location matches your situation. Terminal. Love it. There has never been a toy release of the Maximal Botanica. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Never say never. I mean, they are kind of releasing a lot of obscure characters, part of the current toy line. So you never know. They might maybe finally release a toy or for, because they've been releasing some characters part of the new current toy line, like that are like obscure, probably only appeared once in a comic book or whatever. But yes. But yeah, I mean, I would like more Beast Wars, to be honest. I mean, I know you can't. I don't know what you could do if you wanted to continue it. I mean, I would like them. I would like it. I know Beast Wars 2 and Beast Wars Neo, they're a bit out there, and they're very, they're a bit out there, but I would like it if they could release Beast Wars, if they could finally get the rights, or some company could finally get the rights to Beast Wars 2 and Beast Wars Neo and actually physically release them outside of Japan. Because Beast Wars 2 and Beast Wars Neo was technically kind of a continuation for Beast Wars. Obviously, it's more the Japanese continuity than obviously the American, the original show, the English one. Yeah, it's just unfortunate, really. I mean, I would love Beast Wars 2 and Beast Wars Neo. They are great. They are very, obviously you can check the episodes are available to a degree. You can find them on the internet somewhere, but I would like it if either someone would get the rights to both of them and actually get a box set release for Beast Wars 2 and Beast Wars Neo. I think, another, if they want to spend a bit of money on it, get it dubbed into English, get some voice actors in there, or just release it subtitled, whatever you want to do with it. I know subtitles are a bit of a thing. Some people don't like subs, some people don't like dubs, but dubbing stuff makes things a little easier. I know that sounds arrogant, but it makes things easier for people that don't understand Japanese, because I'm not Japanese and I don't understand Japanese, so I watch dub mostly. However, I do watch subtitle stuff as well. I can watch sub and I can watch dub. I can watch both. However, I prefer, if there's a dub available for a series, I will watch it dubbed. If there isn't a dub available, I will watch it subbed. It's the same with Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War. I was really excited for it, and I couldn't be asked to wait months for the dub to start. I just watched it all subtitled. I watched all of Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War subtitled before the dub started. So I watched it all subbed in the Japanese, and then I rewatched the whole series again, but dub, just to see what the differences was. And I mean, I grew up with the dub for Bleach, so I've got a bit more I've got a bit more thought for the dub actors over the Japanese, but that's just me. Where are we? AJS collection reviews. I guess she is too complicated to configure a transformation for. Maybe. My friend still has all those horrific Animorphs. Oh, Animorphs, God, yes. Oh, what an obscure series that was. I remember that. My God, yeah. What a weird series that was. Good God, yeah. I think I back when I was a kid, I think I had one of the Animorph characters. I can't remember which one it was. Excuse me. I can't remember which character it was because I haven't watched Animorphs for a long time. I haven't watched any of the episodes for a long time. Not since I was a kid. But I remember watching Animorphs when it was being aired, when it was airing. And I think I did have, back when I was a kid, I did have at least, I think, one or two of the toys, and they were flipping weird. Raymond says Sony will never release Beast Wars 2 and Beast Wars Neo outside of Asia, and they have sole rights to them. So it's Sony, is it? That's a shame. That is a shame. The thing is, Sony own Crunchyroll. Sony owned Crunchyroll and also, was Funimation, but it's now merged with Crunchyroll. So I'm surprised Sony don't just kind of, even though they have the rights and they also own Crunchyroll, they could simply do an English dub or just release it through streaming. Do it that way. But yeah, it's a shame. Raymond says, if you bring a hard drive with you to TFN, I am willing to share Beast Wars 2 and Neo with English subs with you. Oh, fantastic! I will do that. I will try and get one. I'll try and get a. I will see if I can get a hard drive. I'll bring one with me. Yes, that would be fantastic, Raymond. Thank you. AJS collection reviews. Mr. Knowlesy, are you from Scotland or Ireland? I am not from Scotland or Ireland. I'm from England, Britain, UK. England. I'm English. You're from yes. Even though I do have a bit of Scottish in me and a bit of Irish in me. On my mum's side, I believe, on my mum's side of the family, we do have Scottish and Irish blood. But end of the day, there's no such thing as 100% nationality, is it? To be honest, we're all a bit of a mixed match of different countries. I mean, they say the white skin tone comes from Scandinavia, more like Norway, Iceland, Norway, Iceland, and so on. They say that's where the white skin tone comes from, Scandinavia way. And then obviously people who are of black heritage come from like places like come from Africa, Egypt, and so on. Hot climates. Yeah. Raymond says both series are about 10 gig each. Bloody hell. 10 gig. Well, I will see what I can do. In the time of me from now until TFN. I think I do have a hard drive downstairs, but it's plugged into the back of the TV. But I don't know exactly. I don't know how much gig it's got on it. I'll have to check. Should be all right for 10 gig though. But I will double check and I will be in touch with you, Raymond. But thank you. AJS collection. I do apologise if I'm not pronouncing your name properly, AJS. I do apologise. Just some DVD releases are exclusive to small parts of the world. So, say a DVD release comes to North America, it may not necessarily work on machines made in the United Kingdom. That's true. That is very true. You've got something called region. I mean, in the UK, we're PAL, 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 PAL. In America, it's NTSC, I believe. So obviously not compatible between the two. I have a multi. I've got a multi. Uh, yeah, I've got a DVD player that allows me to play multiple regions. I've got stuff in my. Basically most of my Transformers collection on DVD is a mixture of US region one, I believe. Yeah, region one, and we're region two, which is PAL. So yeah, for some reason, a lot of the Transformer stuff has never released in its entire. A lot of the Transformer stuff has not released in the UK. At least I've never seen majority of it in the UK. The only stuff that you can freely pick up in the UK on our region two, our region, is G1, the full thing of G1, the Transformers the '86 movie. I think the first, I think Robots in Disguise 2001 series you can pick up in the UK. Armada, Cybertron, and Energon, the Armada trilogy is all available in the UK. And Beast Machines is, I think, Beast Machines is, yes. And I think that's it for UK release. Everything else, such as like the original Beast Wars, I had to. Beast Wars is actually Shout Factory. They had the rights. Shout Factory had the rights to for the release of Beast Wars, the box set. I think mine's the 15th anniversary. I think I've got the 15th anniversary box set for Beast Wars, and yeah, I actually had to buy that from Shout Factory themselves, and unfortunately it's region one. But I've got a multi-regional player, so it works fine. But unfortunately, I've never seen Beast Wars. I've never seen a full box set for Beast Wars in the UK. I've never seen it. Well, if there is one, then fine, but I've never seen it because for some reason, Shout Factory, some of the stuff they only had rights to be released in the US, and they couldn't be released outside of the US for some reason because of licensing. Yeah. So yeah, basically, so Beast Wars, I had to import from America through Shout Factory. Animated, I had to again. Transformers Animated was never released in the UK. I don't think, not as a full box set. So I had to import Animated from Shout Factory as well. So Shout Factory and Beast Wars. Sorry, Beast Wars and yeah. I had to import both of those series. Animated and Beast Wars I had to import from America through Shout Factory. Oh, like you said, yeah, Region 01. So yeah. Raymond. RD 2001 was never released in the US. Disney has the media rights to them, but they find the show not in compliance with Disney guidelines, but also refuse to sell them to other companies. Typical. Raymond, Rhino tried to release them, but asking price was way too high for them. Interesting. Right. Interesting. This has been a really good discussion tonight, actually. It's really picked up now. Yeah, it makes sense. Transformers the show's finished. I bet Transformers the show guys have finished the stream for tonight, so that's probably why I'm starting to pick up. I could be wrong. I might still be on, I don't know. But no, this has been a really good chat, actually. Obviously, I was thinking of ending it about an hour ago, but I'm kind of glad I stuck on it because we've had some really cool acknowledgement and really cool conversation going right now. Very happy indeed. Yes, I think maybe another 5 minutes, and I will probably give it an end tonight. Finish it off because I am now coming up to I am 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours into the stream. So I think that's a good duration. I think for tonight. I mean, obviously, this whole stream, was primarily for me reaching 700 subscribers on YouTube. So yeah, and it was originally a Q&A, a live Q&A, so people asking me questions and stuff like that. They can ask me questions, and that was the primary idea of the stream, which I have already done. I've answered a lot of people's questions so far. So that was the point, but I'm very glad to the discussion side of it's been really good. It has been really cool. Very happy indeed. Very happy indeed. Andy Prime says, "Have you seen Stranger Things?" I have. Yes, I'm all caught up. I'm looking forward to the final series. I believe it's split into 2 parts, isn't it? Season 5, the final series. I think it's split into 2 parts, but yeah, I have seen all Stranger Things. I'm looking forward to the final series very much. 3 parts. Oh, interesting. Last time I had it was 2. Bloody hell, 3 parts. Interesting. Well, anyways, yes. So thank you so much for 700 subscribers. Yeah, thank you so much for the support on the channel. Thank you very much for, if you watch what I do, if you're familiar with what I do, if you have subscribed to me, if you are subscribed to me, thank you so much for doing that. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for watching my videos. If you have, thank you very much indeed for the support. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I've been making videos I've been doing this whole thing for like 15 years now. Literally, I'm almost as old as Google. No, I'm almost as old. No, I am almost. I've been on YouTube. Sorry, I'm on about my YouTube journey, not my actual age. The time I've been on YouTube, the years I've put into my YouTube account, the amount of videos and the amount of time I've put into it. Seriously, I am about a year shy. I started making videos on YouTube like a year, like within the first year of YouTube being a thing. YouTube started. Well, my recollection is YouTube started in 2006, I believe. Was it 05, 06? It might have been a bit earlier for America, but in maybe, I don't know. But obviously, I remember 06 being like the explosion of YouTube. And yeah, I think I created my first YouTube account, which was called Nullsy00. I think it was about 07, maybe around about 07, when Transformers Animated was airing. And yeah, and I started collecting around about 07, 08. Started buying Transformers again. And then, yeah, started making my own videos around about 07, 08 time. And so that was the first like 2 years of YouTube was through my original channel, which was 000. Sadly, it's not about anymore. I had to delete that channel because I got copyright striked. And back then, it literally froze you from doing anything back then. And then I started this channel. I created this channel, my TF Nosey channel, which is now what I'm known by, TF Nosey. And that's basically this channel has been going on now since about 2009, I believe. 09, 010, either 2009 or 2010 was when this channel was concepted, which would bring me to about 15 years of this channel. So a long time. I feel old. Oops. Raymond. Oh, to another 700 subs footlongs. Ajas's collection reviews. Did you know in about September 1998 I bought a Beast Wars Mutant Soundwave? The employee carefully handed it to me right out of the inventory box. I carefully brought it home in my mum's car. Bloody hell, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I don't have that figure. That'd be cool to find that because I do love my Soundwave. I'm a big Soundwave fan. So anything Soundwave, I will happily pay money for. Yeah. However, it was so fragile, it shattered when I just thought, oh, that's a shame. It's one of them, is it? Is it one of them where you can't do much with it? Figures. Yeah, it's the same with Transmetal Megatron, isn't it? For the Beast Wars line. When they released Transmetal, I didn't realize this because when I was a kid, and Beast Wars was airing, all right. Because obviously I was about when Beast Wars started. I was 5 years. I was no 6. I was 6 years old. When Beast Wars started, I was 6 years old. When it was airing on UK TV, I was 6. All right, and my childhood toys at that time. I remember I had Rat Trap. I think it was Transmetal Rat Trap. So I had Transmetal Rat Trap, and I had Oh yeah, that's it. It went out of my mind. I had Transmetal Megatron. So obviously this is obviously season 2 of Beast Wars. So I'd have been either 6 or 7 at this point. And I remember vividly. Those figures, and yeah, it never broke. The Megatron, Transmetal Megatron, it never broke. I think it survived my childhood. I never witnessed anything snap or break on it, and I transformed it a couple times. And then I found out horror stories of that figure in over the years of like it's becoming very, very hard to find one that isn't broken or missing something. And I managed to pick one up. I think was it? I can't. I think it was TF Nation last year. Was it last year? I don't know if it was TF Nation last year or if it was an eBay purchase, but I managed to pick up because I don't have my original one from childhood. Sadly, I don't know what happened to it. I don't recall it breaking, but I think I just don't have it anymore for whatever reason that is. So basically, I rebought it, the Transmetal Megatron, and I did a review on it, and I transformed it on camera. Nothing broke, everything was fine, and I've just literally just transformed it once, and it's in my glass detolf right behind me, right there, just behind that cabinet. That's where my glass detolf is. So yeah, I put it in there and it's fine. I've left it alone. But I've heard some absolute some horror stories of that figure. Literally, they like just snapping in half or limbs coming off it, and because it's like gold plastic, it has gold plastic syndrome parts to it, and it's just like I've heard some horror stories of that figure just falling apart with people. Yeah, that's a shame. That is a shame. Raymond says mutant sound of his has no relation to G1. Oh, so it's a totally different character, is it? Right. My first Beast Wars was Inferno. Nice, very nice. I do have Inferno. Well, I've got a fair few Beast Wars. Beast Wars is like the biggest. I've got the most Beast Wars figures. I think. Out of everything I have, Beast Wars is like dominates my collection. I've got like, and obviously my second. I think the two lines that I have the most figures for is Beast Wars and Prime, Transformers Prime, because they're my favourites. I've also got like a mixture of all sorts, really. The Japanese company produced Transmetal Megatron is more durable. Interesting. I wonder if that's the one I've got. I don't know. I know there is more than one version. I know yeah, I know there is more than one version. Right then. I think that's going to be me done for tonight, my friends. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it a night for this stream. But let me just go back on myself. I want to say a big thank you to Arrowfire. Thank you to Pete Willis. Thank you to Sam, Jupiter Firestorm. Thank you to Raymond. Armand Gordon. Sammy. Transformers The Show. Andy Prime. AJS's Collection Reviews. And that's it. Thank you. Thank you so much to all of you for joining me this evening. Thank you to everyone that sent me questions while I was live. Also, a big thank you to Rodimus Minor and Alpha Prime for sending me questions previous to this live stream. Thank you so much to everybody that contributed towards this video, and thank you so much for 700 subscribers. Thank you for the continued support on the channel. I am very happy with how this stream has, I'm very happy with this stream. Yeah, here's onwards and upwards. Here's to maybe more, more subscribers and so on. But yeah, it's all good. I mean, I'm very, very happy to be at 700. Very happy indeed. I never thought I would reach 700. Never thought I would, but yeah, I'm not the type of person that is all about the subscribers. I'm not. I'm very happy to have. I'm very happy to reach 700 subscribers. However, the amount of subscribers I have is not my primary focus. I'm happy to have a following. I just enjoy the process. I enjoy making videos. I enjoy sharing my opinion on things when it comes to films, when it comes to cartoons, when it comes to animation, when it comes to toys, what have you. I just enjoy the process, and I enjoy sharing my videos with people. It's just unfortunately the algorithm does not help me out, and sadly a lot of the videos I upload do not get seen by people very much. So yeah, but anyway, we got here. Raymond says Takara always produced better figures than Hasbro. That is very true, to be honest. But anyway, so thank you very much indeed. Thank you so much to everybody that has been talking to me in the comments. Thank you for the 700 subscribers. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the questions. Thank you. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Hope you have a great weekend. Or whatever it is you have planned for the weekend. I hope you have a good time. Thank you again. Thank you very much. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye for now. Take care. And see you very soon. Also, if you're going to TF Nation, if anybody in the chat is going to TF Nation, I will see you at TF Nation. I will be there. I'll be there from the Thursday through to the Monday. So if anybody's going to TF Nation, in the next TF Nation's 3 weeks away now. So in the next if you're at TF Nation in August in the UK, in Birmingham, if you're there, hope to see you. Come say hi. Yeah, we'll see you there, Raymond. See you soon. Bye-bye. Yeah, see you soon. See you, Andy. Thank you.